One of the great tracks on the NASCAR schedule, Iowa Speedway, and it's time for the NASCAR Xfinity Series to go green for 250 laps here in Middle America. Let's go from the driver's seat with driver 00. And we remind you what a great day this is for so many as we celebrate Father's Day. Cole reminding us how special Father Joe is on Twitter earlier today. Here we are from the driver's seat, Cole starting fifth.
Hey, Cole, this is Regan in the Fox booth. First off, thank you for wearing this visor cam and giving us some great shots this weekend. We're looking forward to seeing those tonight. The hottest, slickest track that we've been on this year so far. What are you going to do to find grip all night long with your race car?
It's going to be tough. I mean, it's definitely a really rough racetrack, really slick, really hot out, so it's going to be tough finding grip. But I think we'll all move up to the top pretty fast here. And it might get a little bit hard to pass, but like we saw last night, we throw some slide jobs and stuff like that. So it's going to be a little bit tough, but I think we have good enough observation muscle to do it.
Are you physically prepared for this? I mean, the heat is intense. How will that affect your focus? Are you ready, buddy?
I couldn't really understand you there. I'm sorry.
I just said the heat. I'm wondering about your focus. Are you in good shape right now physically to go get this race?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I think focus-wise, I think we're, pretty good. I can barely understand you guys, so I'm sorry, but I think we'll see. I think we just got to get going here.
All right, Cole, have a great night out there. Thanks for talking to us.
All right, we've heard from Cole Custer. Now let's get a word from our pit reporters. We start off with Hermie Sadler. Good afternoon. Happy Father's Day, Hermie.
Happy Father's Day, Adam. Now, Christopher Bell is in the playoffs. He got a win earlier this year at Richmond, but he comes into this race needing to build some momentum. His last two finishes, 36th and 11th. But earlier today, his car did not pass pre-qualifying inspection. He did not make a qualifying lap. So if he's going to win today, he'll have to do it from way back in the 39th starting position. Caitlin?
Well, Hermie, Austin Cindric got it done earlier today in qualifying, capturing the pole, talking with his crew chief, Brian Wilson. He told me they are running a similar setup to what they ran at Richmond a couple of weeks ago, where Austin had a top 5. They feel like this is a big opportunity weekend for him. Very complimentary of their young driver and his abilities, the feedback he gives on the radio. They're hoping for a really strong day here today in Iowa. Adam?
And this is a race team that has high expectations. Won the Owners' Championship a season ago, and we've talked so much throughout the weekend that they have won 4 times already this year with 3 different drivers. Here's our race analysis for this afternoon's event.
Couple 150 laps, 3 stages. We're going to go 60-60, and that 130 in the last stage is going to be interesting with the strategy. We talked about the speeds all being about the same. How will crew chiefs play their strategy to get to victory lane like William Byron did a year ago?
And only one set of tires in that last 130 to try and utilize the right way. So the crew chiefs are right now, they're a little bit nervous about that. They're wanting to make the right call when it comes down to that point of the race.
You look at today's starting field, 7 of the top 10 have never won in the Xfinity Series. You go back to a year ago, you mentioned William Byron got the victory. It was the first of his career. Same with Ryan Preece last July. We could get a first checkered flag for someone here today.
This thing is wide open, and as I look back through the starting lineup, Adam, through the top 20, I think any of those guys could win. Oh yeah, by the way, Christopher Bell, Ryan Reed, they're not even in the top 20. So there's going to be competitive race cars from the back to the front.
I feel confident that top line is going to get worked in very rapidly with Christopher Bell starting back there. We know that he'll be up against that fence as quick as he possibly can.
Mentioned William Byron, Ryan Preece getting their first career win a season ago. Same for Ricky Stenhouse Jr., a 3-time winner at Iowa. Got the first back in May of 2011. Pole goes to Austin Cindric, chooses the outside lane. No surprise here.
Yeah, and Regan said it. This upper groove is going to get worked in a hurry. We saw him up there in practice, and that means for the fans viewing at home, this is going to be intense, exciting, and fun to watch.
Cindric, Hemrick, row 1. Brandon Jones, Elliott Sadler, row 2. Row 3, Cole Custer, Ryan Truex. Next weekend, an off week for the Xfinity Series. Got to get it while you can. We're green in Iowa.
I think Justin Allgaier was listening to you, Adam. You saw that orange car with the corn on the hood. Get it while he could. 3 wide into turn 1.
And if there was any doubt where the preferred line is, look at Cindric drifting way out there off the pole.
Lap 1, he's already committed to that 3rd lane up. A little surprised to see him go up there for the entire first lap. I figured we'd see it through 1 and 2, not 3 and 4.
Sadler jumps up to third, blue number 1. Hemrick settles in between, and he and race leader Austin Cindric 3 wide.
Has Allgaier not been 3 wide during this race so far?
That's Custer on the outside, and the man in the middle, the 9 of Tyler Reddick.
You know, you can make really good ground on the entry to the corner when you go in low, Regan, but as you try to exit, there just isn't room to sweep out, and it hurts your momentum on the straightaways.
Well, the momentum would become the problem, and if that car on the outside, if you don't clear them and you can't get up and block their run just a little bit, they're going to continue to come past you, and you might lose more than one position when that happens.
And that's what you see Hemrick trying to do, and it's working out just like we thought. He dives to the bottom, draws alongside the 22 almost.
You feel so good about it. Right here in the middle of the corner, you think, okay, I got him. No, I don't. That's not going to work.
I just love how Sadler's moving around early. We've seen him down low. We've seen him in the middle of the racetrack. Tire down for the 0 of Garrett Smithley. First caution of the afternoon, left front. He also got into the safer barrier, it looked like. Let's go back and see what happened here.
No damage to the left front. Makes you wonder how the tire went flat. But there it goes.
These are the same tires that these drivers qualified on earlier today. Long afternoon at Iowa Speedway for Garrett Smithley, who brings out the first caution. Austin Cindric is your race leader.
Happy Father's Day to my dad. He's an incredible guy, an incredible person, and somebody that I'm proud to call dad.
Well, happy Father's Day to my dad and all those other dads out there.
Just wanted to take the time to wish my dad, my idol, my hero, a happy Father's Day.
Many of us have had the opportunity to have many father figures in our lives, so happy Father's Day to each and every one of you. It's my dad, my stepdad. Hope everybody enjoys their day.
Well said by all those drivers, and we pass along a happy Father's Day to all those watching at home as well. Austin Cindric going to take the outside lane on the restart. I'm sure his father Tim would be very happy to see driver 22 pull into victory lane this afternoon. Entering the day's race, he had 6 career laps led in the Xfinity Series. He's led the first 7. So far, so good, huh?
Pretty good. Job well done so far. It's early, though.
And let's watch that outside lane. We saw how aggressive the orange car back there, number 7, Justin Allgaier, was on the initial start. He's down on the bottom. Where does he go now? Can he go even higher than the other drivers?
Restart comes as we complete lap number 8. Three wide already. Brandon Jones jump into the middle. Truex is with him.
That's just fun racing right there. And it's precision racing too. The spotters up on top of the grandstands better have their eyes peeled because these guys are very aggressive early in the going.
Easy to find Justin Allgaier in that bright orange red number 7. And you don't have to look hard to find him today because he's all over the place. High, middle, low, wherever he needs to be.
Elliott Sadler with a slide there off the corner. That'll really burn up those tires.
Every time you go sideways just a little bit with those tires, it's going to be a lap that you pay a penalty later on in the run, so they don't like doing that early on, especially on low pressures.
Right. We talked about Ryan Reed, as you see, making a little contact there in the 16 car with Jeremy Clemens in the 51, and Christopher Bell. Both those cars looked really good in practice. They both started in the back. And Adam, I'm impressed. Reed's keeping up with Bell, maybe one of the favorites coming into this race. Great progress already near the top 15.
16th, 17th, and just behind them, Matt Tifft, who also had to start in the back. Unapproved adjustments for driver number 2.
Talked about how I thought Christopher Bell would be up on the wall immediately. Well, he's been doing most of this damage in passing cars on the bottom of the racetrack. We see him in the middle right now as they go down the backstretch, though.
Because he didn't qualify, sticker tires to start the race. That's an advantage, but how long before those start to give way and balance out with the rest of the competition?
You know, I think it's going to be an advantage this entire first run as we go through this stage until they change tires again. Now, if we get a run of cautions and they cycle the tires, not quite as much of an advantage if that were to happen, but right now it's an advantage.
3 wide, inside making his debut, the 18 of Riley Herbst. That's the 61 of Kaz Gralla. Nemechek is there. Cole Custer and the 11 of Ryan Truex as well, Hermie.
The 11 of Ryan Truex yesterday after first practice really did not like his race car. Crew chief Chris Rice really threw a lot of changes at that car. They qualified better. I talked to Ryan and Chris Rice after qualifying. He said, We're a top 10 team. We now have to learn how to win as a team. They're trying to take another step today.
It was a 5-car battle, now a 6-car battle. Welcome to the party, Christopher Bell.
Adam, are we nearing the end of stage 1? Is that what this urgency is about? 3 wide all throughout the field? This is incredible.
Little concern right now for Cole Custer, one of our early race favorites that we thought we'd see go forward as this race starts. He's falling back right now, all the way back to 11th position as they sit there right now.
So you're saying Cole started in the front and he's in 11th, and Bell started in the back and he's in 12th. That tells you all the action that's been going on in just a very few green flag laps.
But on the other side of that, you want to be good over the long haul. At what point does the give and take break off here, and maybe that 00 start working his way back to the front?
Well, I think from Cole's perspective, he hopes that it's right now. You don't want to fall too far back, because then it becomes a challenge to get around these other cars. The groove will slowly start to move to the top, and once everybody's up towards the top, passing gets very difficult, even if you are considerably better than another car.
Up in front of these guys, attaboy for the 3 of Shane Lee. Started 13th, Michael. He's up to 6, strong in the early going.
Yeah, you said 13th, and you think, well, how did Lee pull that off starting down on the bottom? Because that seemed to be a difficult place to pass, but he's figured it out. There's a lot of attaboys out there for me, Adam. You see all the big movers, including Ryan Segan, that 39. But what about Kaz Grala? A month ago, he didn't even have a ride, and they put together quite the ride, and he's running very competitively here in corn country.
Looking for his second top 10 finish since going over that 61, driving for Fury Race Cars. On board with Cole Custer here. Down to his left, the 18 of Riley Herbst, 42, John Hunter Nemechek. And for 5th, Shane Lee around Elliott Sadler. He's flexing his muscles. This team won last week with Austin Dillon. They said, let's go do it again.
You know, we saw Shane Lee in practice yesterday work that outside line quite a bit. I thought he was just missing the bottom and ending up there. Maybe he knew something we didn't, and he was preparing for today by making extra laps up there. He's making passes there early on. We'll see Sadler start to move up there now because of that. Anytime you get past, you want to move and go to where that car passed you at.
And just an awesome effort for Shane Lee since getting in this 3-car. Childress Vineyards on the side of it. Shane and his family decided they were going to try to get in a position where he could go win races. What was his schedule when he started this year, Adam? Was it at Bristol and Talladega? Those are 2 pretty tough races.
Pocono, which is the most unique track on the circuit. Now, he does have an ARCA start here at Iowa. That is huge for a kid who's doing this for the first time in the Xfinity Series.
You know, the biggest thing about that track time is, you know, the bumps, and we talked earlier in the show about how many bumps Iowa has, in particular turns 1 and 2. When you cross over the tunnel right there, I can't begin to tell you how important it is to know where you want your steering wheel placed when you hit that bump. If you don't, that car jumps out, and it doesn't matter what the team does, they can't fix it.
You see Cole Custer there on Kaz Grala said, it is time to go. A little bump and run. Opens up the door for Herbst. Bell is right back there behind him. You know, there's great action all around the track. Meanwhile, back at the front, leading every lap, first 21, pole sitter Austin Cindric, Brandon Jones behind him, just over a second back. Allgaier, Hemrick, Reddick, your top 5 right now.
Cindric is like, man, I look in my mirror, I'm glad I'm not in all that mess, right? Just having a nice, smooth run at the start of this race, as is Brandon Jones. Nice job for this team early. Caitlin, what's he reporting on the radio?
Well, Michael, right now he just said he's a little bit tight, but talking with his crew chief, Chris Gabehart, earlier today, he told me Brandon has just had such a high level of preparation this year. He's been really impressed with how he continues to grow and improve as a driver. And he said, and personally, I've really enjoyed working with him because he's an extremely humble and kind guy. He says he takes this opportunity at Joe Gibbs Racing very serious. He's holding down that second spot right now, guys.
This has been a real nice partnership in the first half of the regular season. Brandon Jones, Chris Gabehart. We've seen Jones making tremendous progress, but here has got a veteran all over him. Justin Allgaier, who's had some struggles lately. Back-to-back DNFs at Charlotte and Pocono. Maybe not the speed they would have liked last weekend at Michigan. They're back in the game, 3rd right now.
Oh, Chris Gabehart, his crew chief, he's got a pretty nice notebook for this track, doesn't he, Adam?
Won 2 of the last 3. That's not bad.
All right, well, then Brandon needs to take advantage of these situations. Regan, you know this as a racer. When you go to a track that you like and you have some experience on and you've got a crew chief that's had success, you've got to click on those days.
Well, you do, and this is now Brandon Jones' 7th start at Iowa Speedway. He made his debut back in 2015 at this racetrack, so he's got that level of confidence in the racetrack and what the car needs to do. He personally, as a driver, has a notebook also, along with his crew chiefs, that tells him what has happened in other races there.
We said Cole Custer, good on the long haul. Here he comes. Bump and run, gets around Kaz Gralla inside of the 3. Drives around Shane Lee. Elliott Sadler had already passed Lee on track. So Custer up to 7th, Sadler 6th. That puts Lee back to the 8th position as we close in on the midway point of this opening stage here at Iowa.
This is a situation, I think, Regan, where the 7 of Allgaier would just drive away from Brandon if he could get that spot. But you can see he's running, Jones is running exactly where the 7 car wants to be, and he just can't make the move yet.
Well, and there's not a lane above where Brandon Jones is running right now. They have not worked that lane up. As this race goes on, they will slowly work that lane further and further towards the wall, and then you could possibly go up there if that car's running a little bit lower, as we see him get very loose. That's the pressure from the 7 car causing that 19 car to get loose there.
Meanwhile, for the final spot inside the top 10, here's Christopher Bell down below John Hunter Nemechek. So it took him less than 30 laps to go from the back to the top 10. Great effort early for Christopher Bell. And now the door opens up to really make something happen if he could get a caution. Right now, he's 7.5 seconds behind race leader Austin Cindric.
I got to tell you something, based on those tires and where he's at with the tires right now, I don't think I want to caution if I'm Christopher Bell. I want this to keep running right now and let me click off a few more positions, but until that happens.
Cindric in lap traffic, but it's not been a problem so far. He's led all 29 laps here at Iowa from the pole. I know it's early, but sometimes you just gotta go. Visor cam showing how aggressive Cole Custer has been early on. 25 laps to go on our opening stage for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. We're live at Iowa Speedway on FS1 with Michael Waltrip, Regan Smith. I'm Adam Alexander. Austin Cindric leads. Justin Allgaier is now 7th. Let's show you how he was able to get around the 19 of Brandon Jones.
Pressure, under pressure. He applied it long enough, and it finally worked out, but not without some action, Regan.
Yeah, he was finally able to get underneath them as they came onto the front straightaway here, and then the traffic helps him. He sets a little bit of a pick right here. Brandon Jones has to go to the inside as well as Justin Allgaier, and it just breaks the momentum just enough to where Brandon Jones, he can't get up there onto the outside corner of him and keep him from getting by.
And I think,
go ahead, Mike.
I think the 7 car runs down our leader before the end of this stage, and this is a gaggle, I'll tell you that. Riley Herbst in the 18, making his debut, has done a great job, and he's all over the veteran. Our regular season point leader, Elliott Sadler. How about that story?
But look who's with him. I mean, Christopher Bell, you would think from the back to the top 10, you feel good about your effort in stage 1. Wrong. He wants some more.
And now he hits his teammate down the front straightaway. Christopher Bell doesn't care if it's his debut or not. He wants to get by both of these guys right now.
Wow, Bell's got a strong ride. You're right, Regan.
All this happening 8.5 seconds behind race leader Austin Cindric. What about Elliott Sadler? Was up in the top 5. Now he's 7th. Hermie?
Adam, he started 4th. The first quick caution, he was up to 3rd. Got trapped on the bottom on that restart. But since they've gone back to green, does not really like his race car. He's tight right there, getting to the center of the corner. Then the next problem, right here coming off the corner, does not have enough forward drive. So he's got 2 balance issues for his team to work on when they come to pit road.
I actually think the real problem is for the competition, because if Elliott Sadler is this close to the front early, he's going to be great later on, right? That's just been his MO all season long. Here's Tyler Reddick outside of Cole Custer. Give another position to the 00. He's really coming on now.
We just saw a lot of give and take right there from Tyler Reddick. This is 2 guys that are young drivers, but that was a veteran move for him to let him go right there. He knew he was going to slide up and put that slide job on him. Easily could have ran into the back bumper. I'm glad we didn't sound the alarm too loud too early, because Cole Custer, I thought he was going backwards. Now all of a sudden he's one of the quickest cars on the racetrack going forward again.
And you've raced here. You understand tire conservation is fairly important. I mean, you can really abuse your tires hard. That's why I didn't know for sure, Adam, what kind of advantage it would be for Bell starting in the back on those stickers, because he had to make so many bold moves to get up through there. But this car continues to move forward. And Elliott Sadler, you said it, he is struggling with his car. It's not balanced right, but the veteran that he is behind the wheel, he can explain exactly to his team what he needs for adjustments to be better in the next stage.
And Regan, you know this, one of the best in the garage at making adjustments on the fly. His signal caller, Kevin Mendring. These two have been outstanding since joining Junior Motorsports. Bell makes the pass. He's now 7th. Sadler is 8th. Final cars in the top 10, Nemechek and Hurt. Cindric continues out front. He's got a second lead on Justin Allgaier. 17 laps remaining here in our first stage. What about Allgaier? I mean, he was battling there with Jones for so many laps. He's settled into second now, Caitlin.
Yeah, he did. He recently said on the radio, Adam, just too tight with no side right now. He's got quite a bit of experience at this racetrack, 12 starts, but still trying to figure out the balance on this 7-piece, saying he's good in turn 3 and 4, but still struggling a bit in 1 and 2, guys.
And he was 2.5 seconds behind the race leader when he got to that second position, so he's cut that deficit in half. I'm not sure 15 laps is enough time to get there by the end of the stage, but I think he served notice how strong that race car really is.
Well, and if he's not happy with it, he's complaining about needing the car to turn the middle and have more side bite. Once they get a chance to make an adjustment on the car, look out, because he has been coming these last 10 laps.
And you say 15 laps, but as these tires wear out, if your car isn't handling right, you could fall off a lot faster than some of your competition.
It's kind of like U.S. Open. You got a 3 or 4 stroke lead, you hit one in the junk, and all of a sudden a triple bogey makes it a match again, huh, Michael?
We're seeing that. We're seeing that in this race playing out the same way. Got some comers and goers there. You see Ryan Reed, he started in the back. He's been able to move his way around Ryan Truex. And remember, strong start for Truex. Up in the 6th position, he's fallen all the way back to 14th, so they'll need some serious adjustments as well.
We knew overnight that they were going to completely change that race car. He talked about it earlier on, and they did completely change that race car. Naturally, though, it does not look like they went the right direction with it, because he's dropping pretty quick as this race began.
Just in front of these two, a couple of other drifters when you look at how this race began. Shane Lee went from 13th to 6th. He's now 11th, and right behind him, Kaz Grala into 61, qualified in the top 10. Was knocking on the door of the top 5, but the driver out of Boston finds himself 12th as we're just over 10 laps remaining here in this opening stint of the race. There's a look at Shane Lee. Top 15 every start this year. Mention the fact that RCR ended that 55 race winless streak last weekend, courtesy of Austin Dillon at Michigan International Speedway. You know, we noticed the lap traffic. It hasn't been a huge factor so far, but that's something that will wear on a driver, in particular in the final stage at a short track like Iowa.
You know, when you come up on these guys, and especially on old tires, a lot of times you'll see them running the high line. And as the high line comes in and you want to get there and you want to run that line, if they are running ahead of you, even if it's a quarter of a straightaway ahead of you, but they're up on that high line, it aggravates you behind the seat of the wheel of the car.
That lead for Austin Cindric is stabilized around about 1.2 seconds. Traffic has played a role in that, like you guys were talking about. Allgaier is beginning to close a bit, but what a solid start to this race. We saw great things out of Cindric yesterday in practice. A real versatile race car. He could run up high and he could take it low, and we knew that would pay off for him today. And when he put it on the pole, that was a big moment for that young man. His first career pole. You get behind the wheel of that 22 with the success they've had this year. You want to show your guys, I'm the man. He's showing them right now.
And I got to believe every lap out front just continues to build the confidence that he's developed so often early in 2018. He's a rookie. So are these two. 9 of Tyler Reddick, 20 of Christopher Bell. And if you're just joining us on this Sunday, Bell did not make a qualifying run. Started at the rear. He's gone from 40th to 6th in 50 laps. And we said it, lap traffic can play a role. Here's Cindric dealing with a bunch of it. 4 wide off of turn 2, that's tough.
Not at all what Cindric wanted to see right at this stage of the race. In particular, 8 to go to the end of the stage. These cars are going to battle hard for every position that they can get, and you see him having to maneuver his car to the bottom to try and get around them.
And if he looks in his mirror, he can see corn. That orange car right there with the corn on the hood is Justin Allgaier, and Allgaier's got it down to under a second now. He's thinking stage win. He wants to get that precious playoff point. He wants to get through this traffic and go deal with the 22.
And Allgaier's only got 1 playoff point, because if you remember, he won Dover, won a stage there, but all that was taken away because they failed post-race inspection. So 1 lone stage win, the only playoff point he has at this stage of the season. There is Bell, able to get around Reddick up to 6th. And I believe that's all he'll get here, because a long way to go to get to Cole Custer and make his way into the top 5 with 6 to go.
I got to tell you guys, what I really like about Christopher Bell's car right now is we've seen him make the majority of his moves on the bottom of the racetrack. That's one of the first times all day that I've seen him go up high through turns 1 and 2. He is making that bottom work, and it's the old theory of go where the other cars aren't. It's going to be faster for you. It's just tough to do sometimes. He is making it work, though.
You can see the 16 there of Reed really slip off the corner, and Kaz in the 61 was able to make a good run, but now Reed's rallying on the top.
Kaz wants to get back to the top 10. He scored stage points last week in both stages. Needs more here today as he tries to come back, make his way into the playoffs. And how about this breaking story? Elliott Sadler coming down pit road, some damage on the right side, Hermie.
You can see it, right front tire is flat on the one. He's made contact with the wall. They're going to come down. His car's been really, really tight through the center, loose on exit. End up getting into the fence right now. At the end of this stage, it'll be right side in a chassis adjustment for Elliott Sadler.
Bad news for him, good news for his teammate, Justin Allgaier, trying to run down Austin Cindric with 3 laps to go, stage 1. Elliott Sadler was 8th when he had his issue there.
And look, he's dealing with Alex LeBay in the 36. What's LeBay doing, you ask? He's trying to stay on the lead lap. He wants to be in a position to get a strong finish for his team, and that's playing right into Allgaier's hands as he puts the bumper to Cindric.
Cindric went sideways. They're 3 wide at the start-finish line, 2 to go, and there goes Allgaier to the race lead. 7 car is strong and finishing at the top here in stage 1.
I don't know how Austin Cindric felt about that little bumpy guy, but they're racing for a stage win. You got to expect that stuff, huh?
Well,
he may get to pay him back.
He's going to get his redemption here, or try to anyways.
1 lap to go in our first stage. Cindric led the first 58. Allgaier took the top spot away as we went across the start-finish line with 2 to go, and it would appear he's going to win his 3rd stage of 2018. If that's a sign of things to come, we are in for a real treat. Stage 1 complete here at Iowa. Green and white checkered flag to the 7 of Justin Allgaier. Cindric has to settle for 2nd. Hemrick is 3rd. Brandon Jones, Cole Custer complete the top 5. From the back to 6th for Christopher Bell. Rookie Tyler Reddick was 7th. John Hunter Nemechek 8th. Riley Herbst, first ever start, is 9th. And Shane Lee finishes out our top 10. What a finish.
Was there contact? Maybe not.
Not any contact, but close enough. The air got him loose right there. A very nice move by Justin Allgaier. And when he sailed off into 1, he was not going to let anybody get back to that outside.
And look at Joey Gase taking advantage of that move and got back to the lucky dog position. Good run for him.
Show of hands if you hope the 22 and 7 are racing around each other later on. Ask any driver and they'll tell you one of their favorite racetracks, Iowa Speedway. And this is just a great part of the country. Newton, Iowa, 30 miles east of Des Moines. What a fun city it is. Fans have been outstanding each time we've come here. Opening stage goes to Justin Allgaier. Everybody coming down pit road for service here, Hermie.
Adam, the 21 of Daniel Hemrick, comes into this race. Top 5s in 3 of the last 4, but they want the big trophy today. They're good on the long run. They want to be better on the short run. 4 tires and fuel. Caitlin?
For Justin Allgaier in the middle of your screen, saying a little tight, 3 on throttle, but really good. They're going to do 4 tires, fuel, as well as the air pressure and track bar adjustment. Austin Cindric at the bottom of your screen just saying a little bit free off. Brian Wilson making the call for no changes for the 22.
Good pit stop for Allgaier, 15.5 seconds there. He comes in the race leader. He will exit the same. Cindric holding serve in 2nd. Cole Custer +2 on a 4-tire stop. Reddick gaining a couple of positions as well. Let's hear from Justin Allgaier.
Hey, Justin, this is Regan in the FS1 booth. A great end of that stage for you. Got a little bit dicey right there. Was it as close in the race car as it looked from TV for us?
Yeah, Unfortunately, it was a little closer than I would have liked to have, but really proud of these guys. This brand professional agriculture Camaro is really, really fast. I told you earlier I thought we had a really good car for today's race, and right there showed it. You know, I think that as everybody works on their cars, it's going to get racier and racier, but really proud of the adjustments that we made right there, and really just happy with our car. Everybody back at Junior Motorsports, it's always good to get the 07 car out front.
All right, Justin, we appreciate that excitement. Keep it up the rest of the day. Thanks.
10-4, Regan. Thank you, buddy.
I'm just curious, how much is this track going to change as we go throughout the day here, right? Because he's so good in that first stage, and you would think at this time of the afternoon the track will not go through a ton of transformation. We'll find out. Stage 2 next on FS1. Just about time for Stage 2 here at Iowa for the Xfinity Series. On this date, 1885, Statue of Liberty arrived in New York City. Marx Brothers, a day at the races, opened in New York, 1937. In 1970, the Polaroid camera was patented. You guys still have a Polaroid? Okay. And June 17, 2012, Dale Jr. ended that long winless streak, getting it done at Michigan International Speedway. So you look at Christopher Bell, started in the back because they didn't make a qualifying run. They had issues in the inspection line. He went from 39th officially to 7th. And here's what he told us prior to the race, calling his shot, if you will.
This place is really, really wide. Should be able to run from the wall all the way down to the yellow line. So it's going to be fun starting the race from the back. We got a really, really good Rheem Camry, and I think we've got a piece that can contend for the win. Just going to have to work a little bit harder here in Stage 1.
He actually went from 40th to 6th, going to restart 7th here.
Yes, it was fun. I agree with him 100%. He sounds like his buddy Kyle Larson. He said when he's a kid, he just wanted to start in the back so he could pass everybody.
Well, he made it look easy, that's for sure.
Lineup for the restart: Allgaier, Cindric, Custer, Hemrick, Reddick, the top 5. Then it's Brandon Jones. 2 of Matt Tipt was penalized. He'll restart at the rear.
Not a great start on the bottom for Cindric. We saw him choose the top when he had that choice, but nice run there off turn 2 to get up in line.
Very fortunate he was able to clear the 19 right there. Otherwise, he may have lost a lot of spots. We've seen how he wants his car to be up on the outside.
Something that's going to be interesting to follow as well. We saw the 00 really fall back on the short haul at the start of this race. How will they adjust that car? Talking to crew chief Jeff Mindering about their decisions approaching this race today, they said they didn't think they had the winning car yesterday, so they made some changes to it. It's really fast on the long run. How can he get going on this start? We'll have to follow.
Also want to update the situation for Elliott Sadler. Had a tire problem, hit the wall, unscheduled pit stop. We thought maybe they'd take the wave around. They've got big problems. Another stop here. They're 4 laps down, scored in the 36th position. There's Bell trying to get some more. Chasing down Tyler Reddick. That's for a spot in the top 5. Would be his highest running position of the day. The 2 rookie winners going at it here.
And I think that red car on the bottom back there, that's Riley Herbst making his series debut. He's like, I want to do what that guy's doing. I got a car just like his, and man, he's making some nice moves.
And look to his outside, Ryan Reed, another kid coming from the back that's been outstanding today. Ty Majeski's there as well.
2 guys with the Roush group there. Roush has always run good typically at Iowa, so we see them moving forward. Ryan Reed, though, a very nice job by him to move up as quick as he did.
Now, if you wonder how you want to get started in NASCAR, how you get around one of these Xfinity cars, Majeski did it by running on his computer. He's an iRacing star, and it afforded him this opportunity.
I thought you were talking about Riley Herbst, and you were going to say just call Joe Gibbs. That'd be a pretty good way to start, huh? Hey, the other guy making his debut, 23 of Justin Haley. He's inside the top 15, doing a nice job for GMS today. As we go on board with Cole Custer, he's trying to get around the 22 of Austin Cindric. Good battle of young guns here.
Such a nice move off at turn 4. He packed just a little bit of air underneath the car of Austin Cindric, and that was just enough to allow him to get to the quarter panel. And I know it's a short track, but you can still use the side draft to slow that car down, and that's what helped him complete the pass going into 1.
And it was also a nice slide job. He pulled right up in front of the 22 when he got down into turn 2, and it enabled him to stay there. But it's opened up the door for C. Bell to hunt the bottom on Custer.
And Christopher told us earlier today, he said, I'm going to do a lot of slide jobs as this race goes on. Well, we might have to shot to see that right now as he gets very loose coming up off of turn 2.
And I'll just tell you this, no more concerns about the short run speed for Cole Custer. Whatever adjustments the team made, that car is flying right now.
We were singing the praises of Kevin Mendering. How about his brother Jeff? He's the one that is crew chief in that 00 car. He too understands how to manage a race, manage a race car. That's why you see Cole Custer doing so many good things. Quite honestly, I'm surprised they haven't won yet this year, but they've been knocking on the door. 3 consecutive finishes in the top 5. Maybe today is their day, and these two not getting away from each other. 22 and 20. It's Cindric and Bell.
Watch this. This is a slide job here. Cindric up the hill, Bell down the hill. But Cindric, nice job there holding that spot.
2 laps in a row, Cindric pulled that same slide job on Christopher Bell down there in turn 1 and 2.
Another move to keep your eye on, I think, Adam, is that upper groove. We still haven't seen anyone in it yet. There's more room up there. Can you get up and ride right against the fence?
How much higher can they go? I'd say they're about, what, 3/4 of the way up right now is the highest we've seen anybody. Can you take it all the way to the fence, Regan?
You know, a lot of it just depends on the tire and how the tire adheres to the racetrack. We've been hearing different things this weekend about how well this tire is adhering to the track. We've been to Iowa in years past where you've been literally 6 inches off of the wall, and it's so much fun when it moves up there above that top seam and gets up there. We haven't seen it yet today, though.
So let's go back and revisit the situation for Elliott Sadler. 4 laps down, just not an all-the-day driver one wanted here this afternoon, Hermie.
Adam, this is how quickly things can go wrong in NASCAR racing. Here's the right front tire that came off Elliott Sadler's car. You see the puncture in this tire. Tire goes down, he's in the wall. When the tire goes down, your sway bar arm then drags the racetrack. So sway bar arm broke on the right front of the 01. They had to come in, repair that, and put the tires on and fix some damage. So a bad day gone worse for the one of Elliott Sadler.
12 straight races in the top 10 to begin 2018. Last week, problems at Michigan, issues again today at Iowa for Elliott Sadler. Meanwhile, left of your screen, Bell and Cindric just can't get away from each other.
Meanwhile, the story continues back and forth, and just great racing. And I think they're getting on each other's nerves, but they're not going to give up. I can promise you that. The Xfinity racers go hard from the green to the checker, and it looks like maybe this time Bell's going to have the pass complete.
These two have been going at it a long time, including last year in the Camping World Truck Series. They both made it to Miami. Here's Allgaier out front at Iowa. 38 to go, stage 2.
Nice call on Majeski yesterday, Adam. That's his best.
Hands down, Iowa Speedway, one of the best in NASCAR. Look at this battle for the lead, middle of stage 2. Allgaier, Hemrick trading blows here.
And you know who's loving this besides all the fans in Iowa and me? Is Cole Custer, because he's hunting it down. He's wanting to make it a 3-way battle for the lead. See the white car just coming into your shot there.
The good news for Cole is as these guys have been going back and forth with the lead, really abusing their tires, he's been smooth back there, just doing what he has to do to conserve just a little bit of tire. When he gets there, he may be in the perfect position.
I thought for sure 2 laps ago, Hemrick had him. Allgaier said not so fast, and they've continued to swap outside, inside, doing whatever they can to find grip and create some track position. And as it settles down for a moment, 7 back in front of the 21, and here comes Cole Custer. About a half a second separating the top 3. So let's go on board here with Custer, and this is quite a seat for that front spot there, Hermie.
Yeah, and Regan, you and Michael both understand what's going on with Cole Custer racing at a racetrack like this. It's a trade-off. The 00 is a little bit too tight at the beginning of a run, but they did not want to make too many adjustments to help that and give up the long run speed. So being tight at the beginning of a run, he's maintaining his drive off the corner longer in a run, so they were afraid to give up that long run speed. And right now, it's working as he is running down the leaders.
Well, and so many times when we go to a short track, we will see that it doesn't matter if it's here, Richmond, Martinsville, different places. A car that is tight, like Hermie said, keeps the rear tires on it. You don't have to manage that throttle quite as much, and that pays dividends at the end of the runs.
Here's the 9 of Tyler Reddick. Scored in the 11th position. Why did he drop outside the top 10? Yikes, off the corner. That's sideways, and what a save. What's going on with driver 9, Caitlin?
Well, on that last pit stop, Adam, they made an air pressure adjustment to try and help his drive off as well and see if they can improve that balance for him. But talking with his crew chief, Dave Ellens, earlier today, he told me since they had that win in Daytona, they just haven't had the speed, the performances that they were hoping for. But he did say he felt like this weekend throughout the course of practice and qualifying, it was starting to trend in a better direction for them. But right now, he's 11th there on the leaderboard.
Just in front of him, a little Roush train. Ryan Reed is 10th, started at the back, did not make a qualifying run. He's having a good afternoon despite some adverse conditions. Just in front of him, teammate Ty Majeski in the 60 car, working on a career best finish. His crew chief is Mike Kelly, who's won here 4 times, 3 with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and also with Trevor Bayne. Good to see the kid out of Wisconsin doing some positive things, and that's what they needed, some good luck. John Hunter Nemechek in the top 10, 7th right now for Riley Herbst. Some really good stories inside that top 10.
You know, we talk about Mike Kelly, and he was crew chief for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. when he won that race at the start-finish line. A blown motor, him and Carl Edwards crash. It got expensive for Jack Roush at that moment, but what a cool race.
See Nemechek there, won the truck race a season ago at Iowa. Was here competing last night, had some problems, wrecked out early, but no doubt he understands success at this Midwest short track. Allgaier working the lap traffic. His advantage, 1/4 of a second over Daniel Hemrick, and here comes Cole Custer looking inside of the 21. That's for the runner-up spot.
I'm shocked that Hemrick drove up there, caught our leader Justin Allgaier, passed him, and then got passed back and hasn't been able to move back forward. I just wonder if maybe Allgaier learned a little something about the line maybe that Hemrick was running and improved his car by moving around this track. This is a track, Herbie, where you got to be versatile as a driver. You see something, you better adapt to it. What's the 21 saying about his car right now?
Water temperature over 300 degrees, Mike, and you see trash on the grill. They're trying to get him to get up close behind the car and get that trash off on the racetrack. If not, the 21 will have to come to pit road.
You know what this reminds me of a little bit? Remember late in the stage at Richmond, had a fast race car, knew they had a tire going down, elected to stay out. Ultimately, the tire came apart, and they had big problems. How do you handle this knowing we're 20 laps away from the end of a stage if you can't get it off before?
Well, he's only got 2 options right here. He's either got to find a lap car, which there isn't any in the nearby vicinity of where he is, or he's going to have to give up a position to the 00, tuck in right behind him. It's a very difficult move for the driver to pull off, but tuck in as close as he can behind him. That changes the air pressure on the nose of that race car, and you'll see the debris fly right off of it if he can do that.
And I think that's exactly what he has to do. He can't catch Allgaier. He's going to have to get behind the 00.
We'll step aside, 19 to go, stage 2. We'll keep it side by side here.
Before we can wave the green flag, we raise the red, white, and blue. Before we can race, we soar. Before we can scream, we sing. Before we celebrate, we reflect. Before we can do what we do, we thank you for all that you do. NASCAR salutes our troops.
They live among us, but they say they're different. They say their swing is a work of art created by the gods worshipped in the shadow of a monster. They can move in the blink of an eye, and when they strike, thunder echoes out for miles, unleashing a deafening roar. Major League Baseball, Saturday at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on Fox. Check local listings.
From bluegrass to bourbon, barbecue to basketball, Kentucky knows traditions. But not all traditions are about the slow aging of a fine bourbon or the rolling hills of the bluegrass. Some are about speed. From horses to horsepower, from the paddock to the pavement, racing is our bluegrass tradition. Join us for the Quaker State 400, July 14th. Your bluegrass tradition begins at KentuckySpeedway.com.
Toyota. Let's go places.
Nothing gets a family's full attention like my freshly prepared chicken. The delicious KFC $20 fill-up with 8 pieces of extra crispy chicken and sides will surely get your kids off their phones. And they may even look at you, their loving parent. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Before we can wave the green flag, we raise the red, white, and blue. Before we can race, we soar. Before we can scream, we sing. Before we celebrate, we reflect. Before we can do what we do, we thank you for all that you do. NASCAR salutes our troops.
12 laps to go, stage 2 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series here in Iowa. And since we kept you side by side, you are aware Daniel Hemrick running second, able to use a lap car to get that debris off the front of his grill, and he does that and stays in the runner-up position. And behind him, looked like Cole Custer might take advantage. Not the case. Christopher Bell, fast race car around the 00 to third.
All the way from the back to the top 3, and we're looking at lap times for this 20 car, and he's the best right now. What do you do in that case, though, Regan? We talk about, is this track changing? Is it taking more rubber? Will it continually get hotter as we race into the late afternoon? How do you adjust a car that's running that fast?
Well, it's very tough to adjust a car that's that fast, and that's where the experience of the crew chief in a guy like Jason Ratcliffe is going to have to show up right here, because Christopher Bell might be calling for an adjustment. He's going to have to tell him, you know what, nope, we're going to sit back. This race is coming to us. We're right where we want to be. Get me one more spot before this caution comes out, and then we'll help you on pit road to get the next spot.
But you know what I love about Bell, and he told us this earlier today when we spoke to him. He said, I tell Jason what I want, and then he adjusts. He doesn't tell him what adjustments to make. He just tells him how he wants the race car and lets Jason use that unbelievable ingenuity to go ahead and get the car where it needs to be.
Sometimes that's better. As drivers, we can confuse ourselves if we know too much. So
what I love also, Bell said, I just don't want to be loose in. Well, he's a dirt racer. I thought that's what he would want to be. He said, Jason knows that I just don't want to be loose in. Everything else is fine.
That's twice now that we've heard that today, though. Don't get me loose, and the race car will be a little bit faster. We heard the same thing out of Cole Custer, so here's 2 young guys that are gaining the experience to understand that.
Shane Lee lost momentum, lost ground on the longer run in that first stage. He's steady at 13th, racing there with 12th place Ryan Truex. Here's the battle for second. Bell up the hill.
You'd think Bell, being an Iowa, would have made a trip to Knoxville last night, right? Not the case. Stayed in the Newton, Iowa, Des Moines area because his father David's there, spending Father's Day weekend with him, got to go to dinner with him, would love to celebrate in Victory Lane here in another 150 laps or so.
And you know what else he did? He watched Kyle Larson win a dirt race last night.
Over
Dave Blaney. He said, Christopher Bell said, I was sitting on my couch cheering for Dave Blaney to beat Kyle Larson.
Do you think he was on the couch, or do you think he had to actually set up on the dinner table while he was at dinner with his dad still watching racing?
These kids, they love racing, and it's what they eat and breathe, and I just love their passion for it.
So Allgaier in some traffic here. Not good for him. The best news, the fact that they're battling hard for second, so it should open the door to go ahead and get his second stage victory of the afternoon. 5 remaining in the second stint of the race.
And this battle that he's racing around here between Case and LeBay, that's for the free pass position. Those guys are racing to be inside the top 20, so there's a lot of varying agendas out there, and sometimes those will bite you.
Hemrick right now able to stay in front of Bell. It'll be 4 to go this time around stage 2. Mentioned the struggles in recent weeks for that 7 team. You know, he was without his crew chief, Jason Burdett, after they failed post-race inspection following the win at Dover. It kind of felt like that just sucked the momentum out of that race team, but here they are back in what you would consider mid-season form. And once again, Bell underneath Hemrick. This for the runner-up position. 3 remaining in our second stage.
Some very fun racing between the 2 of these guys that have been going at it here. Right here, you're going to see Bell try to set a pick, but instead they're going to be 3 wide, and he's got to be very cautious when they come off the corner like that, not knowing what that lap car is going to do.
Bell trying to pin him behind LeBay there and take advantage. Hemrick having nothing of it.
Dives to the bottom. Just want to just inch into that throttle, don't you? Just a little bit sooner to try to get some momentum off the corner. Not quite able to do it. Hemrick closes the door.
I love the patience that both of these guys are showing here. A great deal of respect from two really good young racers. There's Allgaier through the screen off of turn 4. 1 to go, stage 2. Allgaier's already won the first stage here this afternoon.
Does patience go out the door on the last lap of a stage?
If this were for the win, I would say yes. But right now, maybe not.
So tight.
There's Joey Gase in the 35. There's Allgaier. He's going to come back and win stage 2. Who's going to get second? Anybody's guess. Hemrick able to pull it off as he slides in front of Bell. Custer was 4th. Austin Cindric, who dominated the early portion of this race, finished in the top 5. Then it's Brandon Jones. Riley Herbst, who's doing unbelievable things in the 18, was 7th. Nemechek, Majeski, and Reed complete the top 10.
How lucky are we to get to watch this kind of racing? Kids showing up just knowing what they're doing.
It's been fun so far, and I think the best is yet to come.
Hey amigos, we're here in the house. A lot of friends here. Sisters over there, grandma, watching the game. First time is done, and Mexico is winning 1-0. Actually, my voice is going away.
Daniel Suarez driving that 19 car for Joe Gibbs Racing, a native of Monterrey, Mexico. Excited his team won in the FIFA World Cup, pulling the upset over Germany. And we got the triple header tomorrow on FS1. I like Belgium, Panama, Mike.
Me too. I traced my roots back to Belgium.
As did I.
And that's who I'm pulling for. Had a lot of fun on the grid walk last week with Daniel. He's really a big fan of the World Cup.
Yeah, you and I did the whole 23andMe DNA test. It said we should root for Belgium, and we are. We'll see him tomorrow on FS1. Stage 2 is over. Leaders on pit road. Here they are, Hermie.
The 21 of Daniel Hemrick is a little bit too free. It'll be 4 tires. A round out of the right rear to snug him up a little bit. For the 20 of Christopher Bell, 39th to 3rd. He needs more rear grip. They're going to adjust it with air pressure to minimize time on pit road. Caitlin.
Looking at Justin Allgaier at the bottom of your screen. It's been a solid day for him, saying he's free off. Tight center, also asking for a drink of water. 90 degrees right now on pit road in Newton, Iowa.
Pit stop's really close for the lead 3. But the best of the bunch going to be the 00 of Cole Custer. He wins the race off pit road, and they were 3 wide behind him. It goes Allgaier, Bell, and Hemrick. No doubt about it. Everybody getting 4 tires here.
They just can't get it out of their system. Not even when they pit, they're still 3 wide. See if we can get a word with Christopher Bell. He's made an amazing charge through the field. Hey, Christopher, it's Michael and the boys in the Fox booth. Do you copy?
I got you, M-Dub.
Man, this has been, I love what you said before the race. I like passing cars. It's going to be fun starting in the back. I tell you, it's been fun watching. What kind of adjustments did you make there thinking about finishing up this race?
I don't know. I just told him I needed a little bit more rear grip. I'm sure everybody's saying the same thing right now, but yeah, man, it's been fun. My car's been really, really good on the bottom, so I like that. Pretty much got the bottom to myself here. See what happens here on this last half of the race.
Well, thanks for the entertainment. Y'all can't even not be 3 wide on pit road.
Yeah, man, good stuff.
He's a fun kid, isn't he?
Yeah, he's great.
And we're really starting to see the personality come out of Christopher Bell. And here's what you called, Michael. 3 wide behind Cole Custer. A great battle as they came off the pit lane. Final stage at Iowa on the way. Just about time to go green on our final stage for the Xfinity Series here at Iowa. We give to you the Ford Performance track facts. 8 wins for Ford here. Leading the way, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who I think got 3 consecutive, 2011, 2012, when he was winning those championships. 2 victories for Brad Keselowski, Team Penske, Bain, Blaney, Buscher, the others that were able to get it done. And some bad news for Ford here. Teammates Ty Majeski, Ryan Reed caught speeding along with the 55, 51 of Jeremy Clements. They will all have to drop to the rear. And you look at the pit comparison, that's where this race could be won and lost, huh?
You know, one of the challenges when we come to Iowa is a lot of times these teams don't have their Cup pit crews fully available on an off weekend. So there's a mix and match of guys, and we can see this happen from time to time. A slow pit stop, guys that maybe don't work together every week, and that's all it takes to lose a position.
And it's such a shame about Reed and Majeski. They had raced into the top 10 and having solid runs. Talked about Ty and his iRacing. He's obviously graduated from that into other types of motorsports. A very talented young racer, and now he's showing that talent here, racing in the top 10. It'll be fun to see if he can rebound.
Free pass went to Joey Gase, the Iowa native, going to restart 20th. Cole Custer takes the outside lane. It's he, Allgaier, Bell, Hemrick, Cindric, Nemechek. First 3 rows, final stage is underway.
Power move by Allgaier, being able to stick on the bottom and pull away from the 00 of Custer.
First time today. Bell making the inside lane work on Hemrick here.
We've seen Bell down there all day long. He likes that line. He told us nobody else is down there, so he wants to stay down there. But very impressed with what Justin Allgaier just did on a restart, being able to show off that the bottom can work.
Ricky, do you think that's a result of the fact that most of the traffic's been running through the middle upper part of the track? Maybe the rubber's a little, or the road's a little fresher on the bottom?
You know, I almost just have to question if it isn't because he started with Cole Custer, and Cole Custer has been tight on restarts. We know that all day long. I think that may have played more of a part in it this time than the actual lane itself.
Things starting to settle down a bit at the front. Let's crank it up live on FS1. Battle for the lead. Here's Christopher Bell inside of Justin Allgaier. We've said it many times. Bell started at the back. Did not make a qualifying run because of inspection problems. Ran his way to 6th in stage 1. Top 5 at the end of stage 2. And here he is trying to go P1 for the first time this afternoon.
He missed it by 7/1000th of a second last time back. See if he can get it finished up this time.
You know, this is the battle that I think we expected basically from stage 1 on. At this point, they finally get both cars up front, and we get to see it. Justin Allgaier is going to fight extremely hard to keep this position right now, because if this race goes green for a while, he knows that at some point the track position in his tires will be more valuable than giving up this spot here.
The other thing to keep in mind as we roll through this final stage, 115 to go, everybody going to have to make one more pit stop, and likely only one, because they only have one set of tires left. A lot to manage here, especially if we stay green, and this race has had a green flag feel. On board with Cole Custer.
And you know, if I'm Cole Custer right now, I like what I'm seeing. Those two guys racing hard. He's just running along. You said it, Adam, one set of tires. We got to run these out to a point, I think, past halfway through this stage, maybe with just 40 or 50 laps to go. Come to pit road then, get your tires, and go to the checker. So you're going to need to take care of the tires a bit here, but you've got to keep your track position.
Pit window, 95, 100 laps. So we get through another 15, 20 laps. Caution comes out. We could see some takers, depending on how risky you want to be hanging on to that final set of tires.
We might enjoy that sitting right here, but those crew chiefs on those pit boxes will not enjoy seeing that happen. They want this thing to run every bit of 50, 60 laps right here, and it'll make their decision a little bit easier for them.
And if that caution did fly, we would definitely see differing strategies. Some guys would try to hold onto their tires, and some would put them on and say, we're going to go for it.
Hey, let's give a call to Matt Tift. He also had to start at the rear, unapproved adjustments. He had a penalty at the end of stage 1, and here he is in the 8th position, having a great afternoon as he races Tyler Reddick just in front of Brandon Jones, and right in front of them, big attaboy for Riley Herbst, first start in the 18, doing what you would expect out of a kid from Joe Gibbs Racing. They all seem to run up front in their debut. He's been outstanding. Yeah, there's a picture of him on Twitter when he was about 5, it looks like, racing an off-road truck. Noah Gregson, who was so exciting in our race last night, running second, just put it up and said, go, buddy, go, and he is going.
Well, the good news for him is Iowa is rough enough to be almost like an off-road racetrack, it feels like at times, and especially with the up and down that you have coming off of the corners, so it's right up his wheelhouse here. His dad, his uncles, his grandfather, all in the Southern Nevada Hall of Fame when you talk about being able to get it done out on the dirt. So in the lead, Justin Allgaier. Bell is second. Cole Custer is third. Hemrick, Cindric, your top 5. Happy Father's Day from Newton, Iowa.
Father's Day weekend is always a blast for me. I love to make sure I show as much appreciation to my dad as possible.
I like to send a happy Father's Day to all the dads out there, but especially my dad, who's done so much for me in my lifetime and made so many sacrifices where I could go race and compete each and every weekend. Happy Father's Day, Dad.
Fox NASCAR Live at Iowa Speedway. It's round 14 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Been an outstanding first 13 races, and today delivering as well. So good to have you with us on this Father's Day weekend. So many great highlights over the years, and I have a feeling we're about to get another one here at Iowa. Allgaier somehow has stayed out front, but Bell just not going away.
These two are absolutely dicing it up, and it's so fun to watch. We've got one car that likes the bottom, we got one car that likes the top, and they've just been going back and forth side by side here.
This is a 250-lap race.
They don't know it.
Well, and right now, Allgaier's led 85. So he's likely going to lead over 100, close to half at the end of the afternoon. He may win this race. The stat book would say he dominated. He's going to leave here stressed out because he's been fighting for his life.
And about 20 of those laps lately, Adam, he's led by a nose. It's been side by side at the start-finish line. And I talked earlier about that white car coming in the screen there. That's Cole Custer liking what he's seeing, and he might indeed be liking it, but he just can't close the gap. He can't get up there and be a part of that battle for the lead.
Well, the one thing we've seen from Custer, good on the long run, is it possible he's showing some maturity here and saying, let those two go at it and hang back a little bit, or no?
Well, about 2 seconds ago, I would have agreed with you, but then he went into turn 3, and that car jumped sideways. He's getting everything he can out of this race car, and if you want to know how hot it is here in Iowa right now, look at his face. Look at how red it is. He is so determined in that race car, and I guarantee you it's very, very warm right there. Surprised he has a clear shield this time of day and doesn't have a tinted shield on that helmet.
You can see him check his mirror there. Daniel Hemrick is just behind him in that black and orange car.
Hemrick looking for his first career victory. Started on the front row with Austin Cindric. Haven't said Cindric's name much since he led the first 58 laps from the pole, but the 19-year-old out of Mooresville, North Carolina, back in the 5th position. He was so good early. I think if Cindric doesn't win, you're going to feel like somewhat of a disappointment for he and his Team Penske group. But the bottom line is he's doing exactly what he needs to do as a first-year driver, trying to find his way into the playoffs.
You want to be a race car driver, just look at this beating that Cole Custer has been taking inside of that race car, bouncing around, his head just shaking back and forth. It is violent inside these race cars, and that's a good handling race car there.
Yeah, could you imagine being running 25th right now, Adam? Be bucking you out of that car. You can see the visor cam, just what it looks like through Cole's eyes as he sees that battle for the lead just ahead.
I like what he's doing here. From one Ford to another, you look at the 16 of Ryan Reed. Started dead last after failing pre-qualifying inspection. Drove into the top 10. Speeding penalty went to the rear. The same for his teammate Ty Majeski. They've worked their way back to the top 15 and racing behind Ryan Truex and Kaz Gralla. A couple of drivers having decent afternoons here at Iowa Speedway. What about driver 61, Hermie?
Adam, really impressive with this driver and team. Been able to accomplish a lot of experience on this race team. Tony Uri Jr. as well as Shane Wilson. The car is too tight in the center, which makes it difficult for him to hook the rear of his car off on exit. They need to fire off better on a short run. Pretty good on the long run, but looking for more short run speed. That's what they'll address next time they bring that car to pit road.
And now, without a doubt, as we see the teammates battling for position, Majeski and Reed there in the 60 and 16. Now the focus has got to be on the long run. 3 cautions today. We had the early issue. Since then, this has been clean. The only other 2 cautions of the afternoon coming at the end of stage 1 and the end of stage 2.
Well, and this is where the strategy could play into this. Will somebody shortstop this race and try to go out there and make up time by doing a shortstop, or do they stay out a long time? The crew chiefs are going to really have to decide that here. We're almost within that window now.
I want to stay out as long as I can. I know that's the conservative ride, but I like that approach.
90 laps to go. We are in the window to be able to go the distance. Let's get a quick word from Busch.
Is this man your dad? He wants Busch for Father's Day. Busch.
Refreshing.
I guess we know what you're doing. The race is over, huh, Michael?
Busch on a Sunday afternoon with a NASCAR race rolling. This is a good day.
We've talked about him all day, Riley Herbst, who has been quiet, and that's a good thing when you're making your first career start, Caitlin.
It certainly is. It's been a pretty smooth day for him. And talking with his crew chief, Eric Phillips, he told me this is actually a home track for Eric. He said, I always place a lot of pressure on myself to run well here as the crew chief calling the shots. And he also told me, too, working with Riley, he says he really enjoys working with these young drivers who don't have a lot of experience. He says it's something he's done throughout the course of his career, but he really welcomes that challenge of working with these young guys.
Well, I would say today, Caitlin, Eric Phillips is underachieving. I mean, the last 3 times he's had a driver making their debut, they finished in the top 4 a season ago with Christopher Bell, who was 4th earlier this year, with Noah Gragson, who was a runner-up at Richmond, and many years ago with Kyle Busch, who was 2nd at Charlotte. Every time a top 5, Herbst right now finds himself in the 8th position.
You know, I'm going to take it a little bit easier on him than what you are right now, because those drivers all had some Truck Series experience and a little more experience than Herbst did. Eric Phillips is absolutely amazing what he does on that box, and it seems like anywhere he's gone, he's been capable of doing that.
Saw Allgaier sideways there off turn 4. It opened the door again for Christopher to dive in there, but so far can't clear him.
And it's just what we talked about at the top of the show. That outside line keeps the momentum. It can pin that guy on the bottom to where he can't come all the way out to the wall and keep his momentum the way he wants to, and it makes it so difficult. That's why this racetrack is so perfect and the drivers love it so much.
I don't know why Justin Allgaier loves it so much. He's getting aggravated to death. Every time he looks in his mirror, you see Bell's eyes, or he's right beside him on his door.
What is the balance there, looking out the windshield, looking in the mirror if you're Justin Allgaier?
Well, a lot of it's got to be what you're hearing from your spotter, and you're listening to him and relying on him, but you do want to know where that car is. Since he's on the outside, though, as we see now, Bell's going to try and make that way outside line work that we haven't seen all day long. Unless he can make that work, then he's okay where he's at.
I'm convinced it's there. I just want him to creep over a little bit more.
There was a lot of dust flying off of that race car just there,
though. I'm not going to hit the wall if he moves over there.
85 laps remaining here at Iowa. Things are great at the front. Allgaier, Bell, Custer, Hemrick, Cindric, your top 5. 79 laps to go for the NASCAR Xfinity Series here at Iowa Speedway. Justin Allgaier leads. Christopher Bell is 2nd. Cole Custer, Daniel Hemrick, Austin Cindric, our top 5. We say happy Father's Day to you, and a special thanks to all the fathers on the road this weekend working the race in Newton, Iowa. The men and women that helped put on NASCAR on Fox do an unbelievable job. Long day yesterday, heat and humidity all weekend long, setting up this circus that hits the road each and every weekend. We thank them. And we say a Father's Day wish to both Bubba Dean and Jake Blau, father-son combination, working camera for us today, and our pit spotters, Walter and Brian Cox. Always good to have the father-son combinations, and we've got a couple of them working together here with us this weekend in Iowa.
Walter and Brian, they do an amazing job down there on pit road. I've got to work with both those guys this entire season, and I'll tell you guys something. I didn't know what I was doing when I started this job. They basically told me what to do, so very appreciative of those two guys.
I'm just so thankful for the whole team at Fox Sports that come to town and put these races on and show the fans at home what incredible action we have on the track.
7th and 8th. This is good, huh, Michael?
Yeah, and he's been, I think Riley Herbst is just learning. He's faster right now than John Hunter, but we see Christopher Bell up at the front with the experience he has. He can't complete this pass either, so there's just a lot of learning going on. And believe me, Adam, as we race toward the checker, action's going to pick up. You're going to try to squeeze a guy. That's what's going. You're going to squeeze him, pick him in traffic like we see here.
Right here, this is Christopher Bell's opportunity. Now that Justin Allgaier has to come off of that top lane of the racetrack, he's going to need to do everything he can to get the run at the right time. And as we see, he's going to get boxed in just a little bit here.
51 is Jeremy Clements. 8 is Blake Jones. Lap cars, this time helping out leader Justin Allgaier, who maneuvers quite nicely into turn 1 with 74 laps to go, and we're starting to inch closer to that window of making a green flag pit stop in our final stage. Let's get a quick word from Duracell.
This is the #1 trusted brand.
David Starr, the next driver in line, to go a lap down from Justin Allgaier. He's maneuvered through it quite nicely. Back to the battle for 7th. 18 Riley Herbst, 42 John Hunter Nemechek. Both have been good this weekend.
In that car right now, John Hunter knows that this is Riley's first race, so he's going to make him work extremely hard for this. He's going to hope that Riley wears out his tires right now, and Riley might not know any better as we see him move up the track and almost get into the side of John Hunter.
Now that was an aggressive move. Gave it a little gas in the center of the corner, it looked like. Tried to get his nose ahead, knowing that would be the key to the pass. And look, dives in hard to turn 1. I think he's going to make it work. Great move.
When you're 19, you are not supposed to be as patient as Riley Herbst has been here today. And as we see Allgaier getting back into some lap traffic, talking about the potential of a green flag pit stop on the horizon, let's bring into play not just the strategy call from the crew chief, but the pressure on these pit crews. Going to be big. Chastain going to try and stay on the lead lap. He goes high. Allgaier goes down low. Can he complete the pass here? Joey Gase in that mix as well.
I'm impressed with Gase today. This is good speed. He's in the top 20, being very aggressive racing against Ross Chastain.
Surprised Chastain hasn't been closer to the front all afternoon.
Yeah, he's struggled. He's been back behind. Oh, look at this move. He's going to push him.
Allgaier gets pinned in. There goes Bell to the inside. And finally, Christopher Bell gets the top spot at Iowa. Can he hang on?
Well, he led that lap anyway. Wow, what action that was.
A nice job by Justin to sail that back off into the corner and stay to the outside. And we see Ross. Ross is going to give him a little tag right here. Ross is fighting hard to stay on the lead lap.
Allgaier almost got a piece of the wall coming off at turn 2. And I think the fact that he lost the lead at the start-finish line but is able to come back and regain the top spot speaks volumes to how strong that car really is.
I think it's so much effort from these guys. They're just fighting every lap like it's the last lap, and I love what I'm seeing.
Cole Custer has fallen behind now. He's a second and a half back in third. It continues to be Hemrick Cindric completing the top 5. The rest of the top 10, Brandon Jones, Riley Herbst, Matt Tiff, Tyler Reddick, and Ty Majeski back in the top 10. Likely green flag pit stops when we return.
All week we work. We clock in, roll up our sleeves, and get the job done. And when Friday comes, we all get to raise
when they take the green, there will be 10 to go.
A little hell.
The FIFA World Cup continues on FS1.
Sensational!
After his incredible hat-trick heroics, Ronaldo is back to lead Portugal against Morocco.
This is his moment!
Then on Fox, Costa and Spain bring the fire.
What a finish!
When they take on Iran. The FIFA World Cup continues on Fox and FS1.
3, 4.
Shares
a rainy day with Liz and Juanita. Shares a small friend who's very pleased to meet ya. Shares a splash with his sister Claire. She's floating on a swan, but wait, she's not there. Shares her DNA and makeup with her twin. Shares his juggling skills after a big win. Shares with everyone at her barbecue. Cause sharing's always better when I share a Coke with you.
So Dave here is taking the family up to the lake for the weekend, but without the white knuckles this time. Because his new 2018 Ford F-150 has Bliss with trailer coverage. It's Brainiac smart. Not only does it watch your F-150's blind spots, it's got your trailer covered too. Just another reason why Ford F-Series is America's best-selling truck for 41 straight years. This is the new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, pal. It is the bar.
Before we can wave the green flag, we raise the red, white, and blue. Before we can race, we soar. Before we can scream, we sing. Before we celebrate, we reflect. Before we can do what we do, we thank you for all that you do. NASCAR salutes our troops.
It's been an entertaining afternoon for the NASCAR Xfinity Series here at Iowa Speedway. Just over 60 laps to go. Justin Allgaier continues to lead Christopher Bell, and that battle continues tight. We do want to report that John Hunter Nemechek made a pit stop. I would call it unscheduled because he had a tire issue, but everybody going to have to make a stop here. Likely will cycle through as long as the caution doesn't come out. And with 60 laps to go, when do these guys start thinking about making that pit stop that is inevitable? Everyone going to have to come here.
I think that Nemechek stop could dictate what other crew chiefs do. They're going to get to see what kind of lap times Nemechek is able to run, how much he's able to pick up on these guys that are on the older tires. And if you're running back outside the top 5, heck, maybe even if you're Cole Custer, somebody's got to take a chance, I guess. What do you think?
Well, I think if you're Cole Custer, yes, you take that chance. But right now, if you're Justin Allgaier and you're Christopher Bell, you can dictate the strategy at this moment. You have enough of a lead to where you can wait and see what other guys do and when they do it.
Hemrick's almost 5 seconds behind in fourth. What are they thinking, Hermie?
And I'm thinking the 21 of Hemrick may be a perfect candidate to take that chance that you guys are talking about, maybe come in a few laps early. Looks like around lap 220 is the lap that everybody can go on fuel, but Daniel Hemrick, his car is too tight. The problem is when he tries to really gain more speed on entry, he can shatter the right rear, so he does not have the car or the balance that he needs to get up front and challenge for the win. So don't be surprised if Hemrick, maybe Custer, some of these other drivers outside of those top 2 may come in a few laps early and try to close the gap and get some good out of those new tires.
Yeah, Hermie said it. Everybody can go to lap 220. That's 30 remaining in the race. That's when they would have to pit. We anticipate most will come before that, especially as those that would like to make a strategy play. And as we discuss Hemrick and what their strategy could be, he's got company. Here's Austin Cindric on his back bumper for fourth. Brandon Jones there as well on the 19.
He's really been fighting this race car, and Danny Stockman is a guy that likes to gamble. If he sees that this thing is going to keep this green flag vibe, then he is a guy that would not surprise me one bit if he does that. Where you got to be cautious, though, is you lose a lap when you pit right here. So if you lose that lap and you have to take the wave around, your race is essentially over at that point.
We saw it in this race a year ago. Exact same situation. Long green flag run, final stage. Everyone started making their pit stops. Caution came out, and we had a wild run to the finish. Look at Jones making a late push.
That's a nice pass there. He was able to get all the way up beside Cindric in the middle and pulled it off. And this Nemechek car is interesting. Last time by Adam, he ran a 25.20. That's about a half a second faster than the field. So that's what the crew chiefs down on pit road are looking at and thinking about, calculating if we stop now and gain this much time, can we get the lead of this race?
Justin Allgaier out front. He won stage 1 and stage 2. It's the 4th time this year that a driver has swept the opening 2 stages of the race. 2 of the first 3 times it happened, the driver went on to get the checkered flag as well. Allgaier would love that, would lock him into the playoffs, because that win at Dover, because of the post-race inspection problems, does not count to get him locked into the postseason. A lot of work to do here. Bell is outside. That's the 39 of Ryan Sieg, 15th right now. And the final car on the lead lap, and Bell starting to get a little more aggressive here.
This is the opportunity that he needs. He got to the outside quarter panel, but Allgaier is going to squeeze him up coming off of turn 4. That was a bold move by Justin Allgaier.
Bell has been inching up, trying to work the outside lane. Not all the way out here, but to the top side of Allgaier. Can he get the top spot? And there's a caution. 52 to go, and problems for the 40 of Chad Fincham, who hits the wall. It's our 4th yellow flag of the afternoon.
Can you imagine what Christopher Bell's thinking right now? I had this lead. I was on the outside. I was going to be able to complete the pass, and the caution flies. This is an entertaining race.
He worked for the better part of 70 laps to finally get that position. He gets it, and the caution comes out.
15 cars on the lead lap. Ryan Sieg able to hang on to that final lead lap position. Shane Lee, the first car 1 lap down, will get the free pass. And pit road is going to be huge here. It will be the final stops of the afternoon as we check in on what happened with Fincham, top right of your screen.
See all that debris flying up. NASCAR elected to err on the side of safety and throw the caution flag, and that took all the pressure off the crew chiefs for sure. They all know what their strategy is now.
You know, the only guys that didn't like that, the 42 car of John Hunter Nemechek and the 16 of Ryan Reed, who actually had just hit pit road as that caution came out. This hurts them a lot right here as this race progresses.
So what you do is you just line up, take the wave around, right? I mean, that's your only option, because you're not going to come back down pit road. You don't have any tires to come.
You take the wave around, but now John Hunter's going to be on basically 20 lap less tires than anybody else, and really, if he does anything the rest of this race, it'll be impressive.
And then Reed the same way. He was sent to the back already once, and now he's going to be trapped back there again.
There you see Phil Gould. No, that's Jason Ratcliffe, excuse me. Talking about Ryan Reed, I thought it might have been his crew chief. The shadows fooled me. Jason Ratcliffe hoping his team can get the job done on pit road. And let's go back to the last pit stop. They were 3 wide. I mean, this very well could be what decides the race.
And you can't have a mistake. You can't get greedy with your tachometer and try just to inch another 50 RPMs out of it. You have to be patient when you roll down pit road.
Top 5 coming in. Allgaier, Bell, Custer, Hemrick, and Brandon Jones. This is going to be big, Hermie. They're heading your way.
Adam, the 00 of Cole Custer is 2 free on entry. They're going to put tires on the 00, run the track bar down on the right side, try to give him more lateral grip. The 20 of Christopher Bell, he likes his balance. Jason Ratcliffe says we've got to win this race off pit road to get lane choice on the restart. Caitlin.
Taking a look at Justin Allgaier at the bottom of your screen, the feedback he's been given to his crew chief, Jason Burdett, just saying tight center, free on exit as we ran 4 fresh tires as well for the 7.
Caitlin, it's been a good day for the 00 on pit road. 14.8 for him, 15.9 for Bell, 14.7 for Allgaier. How about the 17 come in leading? Pit crew does their job. He will hold serve into the 2nd position. 00 of Cole Custer, Cindric, Bell, and Jones. Then it's Hemrick, who lost 2 positions coming off the pit lane. The finish going to be outstanding. Less than 50 to go. We're live at Iowa Speedway. I have always heard knee high by the 4th of July. That's the goal for your corn growth. I think they're on pace here in and around Newton, Iowa. Iowa Speedway playing host to the NASCAR Xfinity Series. This is the first of 2 trips here in the next 6 races. So remember how this thing is going down, because when we come back, it'll be another opportunity race. With Michael Waltrip, Regan Smith, I'm Adam Alexander. Happy Father's Day to you. 4th caution of the day is wrapped up. Justin Allgaier's dominated this race, leading 137 of our 204 laps. He restarts in the outside lane. Custer, Cindric, Bell, the top 4. And I mentioned Bell because despite a bad pit stop, outside lane behind Allgaier here. Green flag once again, 45 to go at Iowa.
That outside line was the best thing that could have happened to Bell, but then we see him play some bumper tag on the start right there. He tried to anticipate it.
Look at Custer pushing him up from that inside lane.
And here comes Cindric to make it 3 wide into the corner.
Cindric for the lead going down low. Bell waiting in the wings. Jones and Hemrick are there.
Oh, it's just going to get more and more tense. Push is going to come to shove.
You know, Cindric wants to get back to Allgaier. They had a little run into end stage one. 3 wide once again, near contact. Custer and Allgaier.
How many racetracks do we go to that you can run 3 wide for the lead for an entire lap? That is so much fun to watch.
And here comes Custer. At one time, those 4 had established 4 different lanes through turns 3 and 4. Bell with a peak for second.
All right, we're going to go back to normal here for a lap. What do you think? Will it last a lap, or will they be 3 wide again?
Wait a minute, what's normal?
The damage on the right side of the 20, he'd scrub the wall at some point.
See the 22-21. They started this race on the front row, both solidly inside the top 5 throughout the afternoon. Here goes Bell one more time.
It was a great move by Hendrick to get around the 22 of Cindric. Maybe they got the 21 tuned up now, and he can make a run at these guys.
There's that damage you talked about, Michael.
I'd be surprised if there wasn't damage, Adam.
That just barely took the paint off. That's just getting the car just right. Every race I think I ran in my career, I had that on the right side afterwards. Maybe that's why I'm sitting here now, though.
Reminds me a little bit when he'd run those truck races at Eldora, just beating that wall down as he tried to make his way to the front.
Nobella's been committed to this bottom, especially on fresh tires. It's just so difficult to clear the car on the outside. We did see at the end of that last long run, though, he started to work in way up against the wall, a few laps, feeling it out. It just never looked like it fully cleaned off for him up there.
You know what we found out today is you don't just drive up and pass someone. It's a slow, methodical process. I thought Bell was about to make it happen. He slides back. Here comes Hemrick, and the guy that loves it all with under 40 to go, Allgaier, who's starting to create a little separation at the front.
Look at Bell trying to dive across the center of the corner to get that position. He makes it work. Can Custer come back?
Gosh, I love this.
He told us slide jobs, he would be pulling them off. That was an ultimate slide job right there.
But you know when you slide a guy, you're going to get slid back.
That's how he won his first race. Remember last year, Kansas slid up front of his teammate Eric Jones? If Eric's watching today, I'm sorry for bringing that one up.
That was a great job there, grabbing that spot. Now does he have the speed to run Allgaier down? Justin's gotten out about a second ahead of this battle.
On board with Custer. I think you said it, Michael. Hemrick's got a little something for this final run of the race. He's really found speed, got around Cindric, and not messing around when it comes to working over Cole Custer for third here.
He got a little bit of damage to the right side of that car as well.
As close as Hemrick's been so many times, you got to believe if he can sniff that victory at the end of this race, that he will do whatever it takes at this point to get it done, especially after last week at Michigan.
Hey, giving credit where credit's due. I mean, we celebrated the 7 and their pit crew, right? I wonder what Jason Burdett did to that car adjustment-wise on that last stop, because there's no doubt, way faster right now, at least as far as his advantage over second, than what he's been throughout the day.
Check out this replay. Ross Chastain got bumped by Ryan Reed. Ryan was trying to get to the bottom, and the 18 car was down there. Riley Herbst and pushed them together. That was a near miss.
That does not work out when there's another car inside. You got to give him that lane, and Riley did not back off. He didn't do anything wrong, though.
And the only mistake Riley has made, he was caught speeding on that last pit stop. He, Tyler Reddick, and Ryan Truex all had speeding penalties. They've worked their way back toward the top 15 here, so we'll continue to follow their progress. And speaking of progress, what about the day for Kaz Grala? Qualifies up inside the top 10. Spent a good portion of the afternoon, 12th, 14th. Money's on the line. Where's driver 61? 6th right now.
And he almost was in the outside wall. That just shows you how hard they're battling. And then a shout out too, right behind him, Ty Majeski. He had to go to the back of the pack because of a mistake on pit road. He's right there in the 7th position. So so many great stories of guys overcoming adversity and getting in a position like Matt Tifft racing here with the 22 of Cindric.
Cindric starting to go the wrong direction. Not sure what their adjustments were, but maybe not what he needed for this short run to end the race. 32 laps remaining, and there goes Tifft inside of him. Started at the rear, had a penalty early in the race. He's now 8th, and Michael Annett in the top 10. Great for the driver out of Des Moines, Iowa. Grew up playing hockey. Never really thought he'd be a race car driver. It's worked out that way, and doing a nice job here at his home track. Second consecutive year we've seen him doing that.
And definitely a team that needs something positive to happen. This season has not gone the way that they want, and he's battling for a playoff spot right now. He needs every point that he can get as we get down towards the playoffs.
That was close, huh?
Well, look who he's racing with, Michael. Two guys that are racing in the Xfinity Series for the first time. Justin Haley in the 23 for GMS, and here comes Riley Herbst after a speeding penalty trying to put himself back inside the top 10.
That is impressive. Talk about turning up the volume as the laps wind down. Herbst got 2 for 1 turn there.
For Allgaier, the lead at the front, 1.2 seconds over Christopher Bell.
There you see the young man out of Las Vegas. Off-road racer, his family, champions in that sport. And he's proven that he's ready to go NASCAR.
Rookie of the Year last season in the ARCA Racing Series. Got a win in Pocono. Had some ups and downs so far in 2018. But a part of the Joe Gibbs Racing Development Program. You know you have talent when you fit into their operation. And Herb showing it here today in his Xfinity debut, trying to track down fellow rookie Austin Cindric, who's 9th. A lot of times when you see the 22 and the 18 going at it on a Saturday, Sunday afternoon in the Xfinity Series, it's Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch. Not today. And here's Ty Majeski. What an afternoon for the driver out of Wisconsin, Hermie.
You know, Adam, everybody on the racetrack has something to race for or is racing other than the win for improving your career or making a name for yourself. This time Majeski today has been very, very impressive. He was in the top 10 earlier today, had a speeding penalty on pit road, lost all that track position, and now he is battling back up, working on Kaz Growler for the 6th position. Prior to today, his best career finish was 10th. He's looking to overcome some adversity and improve on that today. Nice job for he and this race team.
Yeah, especially for the race team. 3 different drivers behind the wheel of that 60 this year, sharing time with Austin Cindric and Chase Briscoe, and regardless of the weekend, something always seems to go wrong. Great to see them putting the pieces together as Majeski gets around Grala for that 6th spot.
Well, we felt like as this day began that if Majeski could just have a clean race without anything bad happening. Most of the time it hasn't been of his own doing, but he needed that clean race. And what a perfect spot for these young guys to be in, to have Mike Kelly as their crew chief. He is the man that you would want to teach 3 young guys.
He's able to drive away from Kaz there, and the battle at the front has stabilized somewhat. Maybe Bell just taking a break to cool his tires a bit, maybe get in a position late to make a charge.
For 4th, Hemrick, black and yellow 21. Purple number 19, Brandon Jones. Jones having a good day. I know he had high expectations coming in here. Some trouble last few weeks, didn't get the runs they would have liked, and nice to see them finding their way back to the front. Looks like he's got a strong race car late.
That's a couple of wins just waiting to happen right there. They both showed the speed and the ability to get to victory lane. Looks like Jones is better at this point in the race. That's a strong move. Has to pull the slide job, but I think he's going to shut the door on the 21 of Hemrick.
I really thought we had a great shot at a first-time winner today. Top 3 all have been to victory lane, Allgaier, Bell, and Custer. These 2 have not. 4th and 5th on track here. They want problems ahead so they can go capture their first checkered flag. Fun to watch.
Any of these guys in the top 4, top 5 right now, they want a caution. They want to bunch this thing back up. But then when we look a little bit further back to somebody like an Austin Cindric who's struggling, the problem is you would think, okay, come down pit road, make an adjustment. Well, that's all you can do. You can't put tires on. There's nothing left in your pits that you would want to put on that race car. So they've kind of made their bet at this point, and unless you're brave enough to adjust on a car on old tires, then you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, with 17 cars on the lead lap, you're running 8th, 9th, 10th. You're not going to come down if the caution comes out. You just want them bunched up and hoping maybe for some bad luck for someone else at this point.
This is heating up. Well, it already heated up. It continues to get hotter.
It's been hot all weekend.
Okay, this is good. I like this.
The side-by-side battles that we've seen today, I love it. I don't know how you can't enjoy what you're seeing when guys are beating bumpers. They're side-by-side. They're slide jumping each other. This is great stuff that we're getting to see.
Brandon just trying to stabilize, get off the corner up beside of Hemrick and drive away, and I think that's exactly what that move is going to allow him to do.
Jones has made a pass, and his teammate hoping to do the same. We return to position 1, position 2. Allgaier and Bell, and that 20 as this run has continued, inching closer and closer to Allgaier.
You know, I don't want to mention yesterday, but we saw a Toyota at the end of the race yesterday make a very bold move, and Noah Gragson to try and pull off a video game move as the caution comes out now.
Problem in turn 4. That's the 55 of Brandon Hightower. It's our 5th caution of the afternoon. And while this doesn't change anything as far as pit road is concerned, no tires are left, it does change that we're going to see another restart, and Justin Allgaier probably didn't want any part of this.
Well, I just want to tell you, I want every part of it. These guys are going to be 3 and 4 wide. It's been so intense. And that man, Jace, he knows exactly what's getting ready to happen. There's going to be contact. There's going to be pushing and shoving. This is going to be incredible, an incredible finish. As a competitor, I get it. You don't want to see a caution, but as a fan, I want to see these guys show their skills battling 3 and 4 wide.
Free pass here goes to Ryan Reed, who's running in the 18th position. Allgaier leading to restart when we return. When we're done at Iowa on FS1, it's more racing. NHRA from Bristol, Top Fuel, #1 qualifier, hometown hero Clay Milliken. And over in Funny Car, she's the points leader, #1 qualifier, Courtney Force. It's her #1 qualifier 5 times now in the last 6 events. Looking for a 4th win of the last 5 tries. NHRA eliminations from Bristol. Coming up next, it's live on FS1. But we got a long way to go here. 14 laps remaining. Going to get a restart. Allgaier leads, going to take the outside lane. That puts Bell inside of him, and I immediately go outside row 2. Brandon Jones looking for that first career win. Does he have anything for him there, Michael?
I think he does. He was really breaking even, gaining a little bit on lap time before this caution, and then also watch that black 60. He's got a fast car as well. He had good lap times going, so I think this is going to be really interesting. We had 2 players that were getting ready to have an intense battle to the checker. Well, we invited about 10 or 12 of our friends along for this battle now. Be fun to see how aggressive these guys get.
They've added a lap here, so let's look. Well, of a 12-lap shootout, let's look at some of the other storylines inside the top 10. You got Daniel Hemrick restarting in the 5th position, and we know he was so disappointed last week when he was a runner-up to teammate Austin Dillon at Michigan trying to get that first career victory. Ty Majeski is up there in the top 10. Kaz Gralla, Riley Herbst, a bunch of drivers trying to get that first win in their career. Caitlin?
Looking at Brandon Jones right now, he's pretty happy with his car, just saying a little loose on exit and a tick tight in the middle, but overall not too bad. He's currently shown 3rd there.
He'll restart up on the outside, and that's a big advantage, I think, for Jones in that 19 car.
Yeah, you got to keep an eye on Custer, too. Down that low lane, 00. He's had a lot of speed today.
Yeah, right now these guys have to work very hard to buzz their rear tires, get them cleaned off, especially if you're on the inside lane. Typically, the dirtier lane is going to be the inside lane at Iowa, so they really need those cleaned off to get a good hole shot out of the gates here.
I'm so happy, Adam. This is going to be intense.
Pace car on pit road. Here we go to finish it at Iowa. Hemrick shooting up the middle. Bell hanging tough down low. Here comes Brandon Jones in that outside lane. Allgaier clears him.
Brandon Jones did everything he was supposed to do on that start there, that restart. He was able to fill that hole behind Allgaier. Now can he finish this pass and go battle our leader?
Hemrick not going away either.
Bell up.
Big move by Bell right there. If he does come back to challenge for the win on this thing, that move is going to be a key part of that, clearing himself right there.
Going to be 10 laps remaining. When we come back to the start-finish line, Allgaier out front. Can he hang on?
Here comes Hemrick. Look at the dive into turn 1.
On board with Cole Custer. He's 5th right now.
Hemrick made that work. Was able to get ahead of the 19 car.
Custer making the inside lane work as he goes around Brandon Jones. Swings to the high side off of turn 2. Riley Herbst has found his way to 6th. Look at Kaz Gralla, Justin Haley up there, Matt Tiff, Tyler Reddick coming back from a speeding penalty. So many great stories inside the top 10. 8 laps remain.
Haley trying to look below Gralla there off turn 2.
Former teammates at GMS last year, those two guys, they know each other well.
Like Majeski in the black car to the bottom on Herbst, not able to make that move work.
If Herbst gets back to the top 5 in his debut, when you consider the fact that he had a speeding penalty, what an incredible effort it would be for he in that race team.
I don't think he even has to get back to the top 5 at this point. After all that, he's having an incredible debut as it goes.
You got that right. Very limited experience in the big cars on these NASCAR tracks, and man, he's been impressive. But I tell you, what about Allgaier? I mean, all day long, just everything you want a veteran to give you, he's giving it.
He's had it all thrown at him. Going to be 5 laps to go. He's been out front for 177 circuits. Speaks to how strong that race car has been.
Right now, Christopher Bell needs to close in just a little bit more before that last caution came out. I talked about the big move that Noah Gragson made in the Truck Series race yesterday. Well, he's going to have to be closer to be able to even try a move like that. Otherwise, Allgaier is in a perfect spot here to just manage this gap.
And Allgaier knows that. If he can just keep 6-8 car lengths ahead, there's no way Bell can make the move on Allgaier.
And because of the late cautions, likely not going to have any real lap traffic come into play here. That's huge for Allgaier with 4 to go.
Fastest car last time by a 10th, the 20 of Christopher Bell. You can see he's almost there.
Just keeps peeking down to the inside. You almost feel like he's setting up that move to go after the victory.
And he's not shy about making that move, especially on the last lap. We've seen him do it before.
3 left at Iowa.
He's done it to a teammate. He'll definitely do it to a non-teammate.
Wow, nice run there.
Going to be 2 to go this time around. Allgaier hanging high, but Bell gaining ground.
And I guarantee you, asked earlier, Adam, Allgaier is all over that rearview mirror. He wants to see exactly what lines and what games Bell might be playing back there.
When they come off of turn 4, they'll see the white flag. 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. And aggressive there, Bell nearly got into the wall. That may have given it to Allgaier.
Allgaier's going to say, giving it my tail. I never worked harder for anything in my life.
Off of turn 4. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Justin Allgaier.
Iowa for a long freaking time, and what you boys just did it. How cool is that?
7th career win for Allgaier.
Awesome job, dude. You drove your butt off right there. Great job all day. Good job in here, everybody. Whew.
I just think it was the corn. I mean, he came to Iowa with corn on his car. I had to make him a favorite.
What a day for that team, and they get Jason Burdett, the crew chief, back a week and a half ago, and you wonder how much one person can matter. That should show you right now that team's right back to where they were at Dover before the suspension.
And how gratifying must it feel for Allgaier to be able just to hold off one of the best young racers in the country and win this race? I mean, he had to be perfect those last 10 laps, and he was just that.
We said this was an opportunity race. Allgaier wins, locks himself into the playoffs, and not only does he get the victory, he wins stage 1, stage 2. He's piling up those playoff points.
We discussed it early on, who was going to step up and get those playoff points, and Justin was the guy that said, I'm going to do that today.
I'm so impressed with the whole team. The pit crew had one bad stop. They bounced back with a great pit stop. Everything about this day is everything you hope for when you strap into a race car before they start the engines.
Bell comes home second, and when you consider that he started at the rear, an impressive day for the youngster out of Norman, Oklahoma. Daniel Hemrick, while he doesn't win, continues to consistently knock out those top 5 finishes. Cole Custer doing the same. Brandon Jones finished 5th, and Riley Herbst didn't get to the top 5, but what a debut for him.
A perfect day for Riley Herbst.
Here it was coming back to the white flag.
Giving it all he's got right there.
He was going forward, and you can't fault him for doing that. The car just stepped a little bit sideways on him, and that was all it took to increase that gap to where Justin Allgaier didn't have as much pressure on him.
Mentioned Herbst was 6th. Ty Majeski, best of his career, 7th today. Tyler Reddick, despite a speeding penalty, was 8th. Penalties for Tift came back to 9th. And Kaz Gralla wound up inside the top 10 the second time he's been able to do that since going over and driving for Fury Race Cars.
You know, this is the second time that the 7 cars won on Father's Day weekend. Also, I remember a guy doing it a few years back on Father's Day weekend in that race car.
Would that been at Michigan?
It would have been Michigan.
Was his name Regan Smith?
I think it may have been. A little bit different group of guys. That team looks a little differently right now than what it did back then, but definitely a good day for them.
Let's hear from Christopher Bell, 2nd today, Caitlin.
Yeah, Adam, as you talked about, impressive day for Christopher, starting at the rear, making his way up to 2nd. What more did you feel like you needed there, though, at the end?
Man, I just needed to be in front of him. Our Ram Camry was really good. It was really good on the bottom, both corners, but I just didn't have enough to clear him. You know, he could kind of just ride that outside there, outside my door, and just keep me pinned down. So we had a really good Ram Camry, just unfortunately not good enough to get by him.
Well, Christopher Bell earns his 8th top 5 so far this year.
Unable to get that 2nd win of the season, but the good news for him, he is locked in to the playoffs. Justin Allgaier also locked in, highlighted in yellow with his win today. There you see Tyler Reddick in 3rd as the playoff standings now complete after 14 races. Elliott Sadler leads in the regular season championship chase. He is 4th on the playoff board. Cole Custer rounding out the top 5. The cut line right now belongs to Ross Chastain. He's plus 24. It's Allgaier in victory lane.
What a race, what a win for this race team. Got him out of the car, still getting the helmet off. It takes unbelievable effort to win races at this level, but if you ever had to work for one, describe what the last 50 laps and that last restart was like for you to seal this win.
Unbelievable. First of all, glory to God, man. We had a great car today. These guys did a fantastic job. I can't thank everybody at Genie Motorsports enough. Our brand fresh agriculture Camaro was fast. It was incredible. We're in the middle of cornfields. How can you not enjoy this? Rick Brandt told me to cause a party before the race, and we do that on Father's Day. Man, that's really cool, having my daughter here. I just can't thank all of our partners enough. Everybody at Genie Motorsports, Hendrick Engine Shop, Chevrolet, obviously Brandt, Hellman, Suave, Breyers, Degree Axe, Doveman, Cessna, Exalta, Northeastern Supply, just everybody that's a part of this race team, my family. It's, man, is it cool to win one, especially at Iowa.
These guys are in victory lane, and they're back in the playoffs.
Quite an afternoon. The tone was set here today. Michael Regan, your final thoughts as we wrap up our 3rd short track race of the year.
Well, very cool to see Justin Allgaier, a father, be able to win with his family at the racetrack. There's nothing more meaningful to a race car driver.
And you could just see how special it was for him to go out there and win this race. You talked about a dominating performance. He dominated by about a half a car length all race long, and that was a well-deserved and an awesome victory.
At the end of the day, he leads 182 of 250 laps, gets his 7th career victory. Thanks to our entire crew at Iowa, doing an outstanding job. Next up for us, NASCAR on Fox Sunday afternoon. We're in Sonoma Wine Country. Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series on FS1 at 1:30 Eastern Time. Special thanks to Caitlin Vinci, Hermie Sadler, who did a great job of the pits. With Michael Waltrip, Regan Smith, I'm Adam Alexander. Congratulations, Justin Allgaier. It's time for NHRA in Bristol.